This reporter has had her own experience with concussions and the impact it's had on every aspect of my life.
I'll never forget the day that I first got my major concussion. It was about 3 years and 4 months ago approximately, and it's crazy to think that that much time has passed, but I was a major gymnast, and I was practicing for a competition, and I ended up flipping to my head, and it was a very bad accident, and then I've not only had to deal with my concussion symptoms, but also this stigma that comes along with having a concussion in our society and the lack of understanding. My junior year is when I got my concussion, and it was especially tough because I was going through SATs and ACTs and worried about getting good grades. And somehow I did do very well, but if I were being perfectly honest, I can't remember a year of my life at all. And even my senior year was really rough. I still remember people would have no understanding. I was self-conscious all the time. I wore red lenses, red glasses, because they dimmed the lights. And I remember hearing rumors freshmen would think that I was high all the time because I had to wear these strange glasses. And boys would laugh in class or be like, "What's wrong with that girl? Why is Lauren crying?" And they just had no understanding of the pain that I endured every day. It was so hard for me to wake up in the morning, and my mom had to read to me, and nobody knew what I was going through. And I think that was the hardest thing, and I didn't want people to know, but I couldn't hide it. And I was forced to take a gap year because of it, and once again I still got sick. I would go to the hospital frequently, even this year in college. I have had to go to the hospital because I get this thing called ptosis, and my eye starts twitching and my head starts bobbing. And to an outsider, it looks really scary, and most people run away and they're afraid and they don't know what to do, and they would just want me to go to the hospital. And even doctors don't really understand what it is, but it's not dangerous, but it's scary, and people don't understand, and they're not as willing to help me. And yet, some people have stood by. But even my best friend in high school, I would have accommodations or an extra little time on tests, and she was so competitive, so-called my best friend, and yet she clearly was not my best friend because she would talk about me behind my back, or the fact that I was getting special accommodations, and she had no idea what I was going through. While she went to parties every weekend, I literally stayed at home in bed. Still encountered certain professors that just couldn't relate. They had no idea what it was, and so they looked at me and they couldn't see my pain, because it's not like I had a broken arm and you saw a cast and therefore I couldn't write. My pain was internal, and my head pounded, and I still have gone these past 3 years with headaches constantly every single day, which is crazy to a normal person to even comprehend the fact that I wake up and go to bed every single day with some degree of a headache. And as my parents were sick inside watching me in pain, they tried to do everything. And I spent a month in Atlanta where I saw a physician there, and it was actually the same one that Sidney Crosby went to. And he put me in it was called a gyrostim, and I would literally spin in hopes to repattern my brain. And I saw crazy doctors, someone who was pushing on my head in hopes to help, acupuncture. I literally tried everything. I tried medicine. I was on one drug where I literally went insane. I thought people were following me everywhere, and as I tried to get better, I constantly took steps backwards in the hopes that I would feel better the next day. And I'm on a lot of medication now, which helps to regulate it, but it's been a pretty crazy road, and to think that something so serious can be taken so lightly is very scary. And while awareness continues to increase, it's still an issue.